All right, it's that time of year. We've come to my very favorite lesson in math. It's called order of operations. This is something that you will be using for the rest of your math career. I've even seen on Facebook some little things that come up and they try to stump people as adults, like what kind of math do we do first? And it's really cool to see those people that are using that order of operations, because mathematicians had to create some sort of order for all of the math that we do. So our topic, or our title today, order of operations, our I can statement. I can use the order of operations to solve math problems. And operations are any sort of process in math. So I usually ask, what kind of math is it? Is it adding? Is it subtracting? Is it multiplying? Or is it dividing? But we're going to include a few extra processes of math that we've already learned. We have our parentheses, and we also have our exponents. Remember, exponents mean our base is our x, and our y is going to be how many times we multiply it. So if we had 3 to the 4th, we would do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. This is our base. It does not mean 3 times 4. No way, Jose. That will not work. It's 3 to the 4th. Go ahead and get this copied down. If you need more time, pause the video. Now we come to a part where we use these letters. These letters are an acronym. They stand for our math operations. Some people might remember the phrase, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I sometimes just call it PEMDAS because we got PEMDAS. Either way you say it, it is okay, as long as you remember this is the way that we remember our order of operations. Operations, what kind of math processes are we using? So it goes from left to right, and some of these are combined. So our P stands for those parentheses that I was talking about. Parentheses. Our E stands for our exponents. Our M and our D, they're kind of grouped in a lump thing. This is multiplication and this is division. And then our A and S are grouped in a lump thing. As you can guess, this is addition and subtraction. This tells us what order we would complete math things. This is like parentheses. They're like the king. If you see parentheses, we have to listen to those parentheses. It is important we listen to those parentheses. They rule all. They're everything. Sometimes you might see these things, which are very similar to parentheses. They're called brackets. It's if I already have a set of parentheses, they're another way to show, hey, these things have to be done first. Parentheses always have to be done first. If you see parentheses, that operation, doesn't matter what's in it, that kind of math, whatever is in those parentheses, you have to do first. Then the second part is your exponents. Those will always come next. And then we have our multiplication and division. Our multiplication and division, we kind of like when we're reading, we read left to right. Well, we have to do multiplication and division left to right. So that means if we have a division thing and then a multiplication thing, we will still do it left to right, even though the D comes after the M in our little phrase. And the same thing with addition and subtraction. We have to do this left to right. So if we're looking at some sort of statement and there is a subtraction before an addition, we would still do that subtraction first and then the division, even though the A and the S come in that order. All right, so let's give this a try. Go ahead and write this problem down in your book. We're going to go with the problem 3 plus 7 times 6 divided by 3 minus 4. At this point, you do have the PEMDAS written in your book, but I want you to write it again one more time. PEMDAS, not below, because as we do this, we're going to work line by line to get this solved, okay? So we know that we should do parentheses first, but I don't see any parentheses in this problem. So I'm going to move on to my next thing. I have to go in this order. If I don't go in this order, there's going to be something that goes wrong. I might get a different answer, and we all want the same answer. That's why mathematicians did this. There are no exponents in this, so we are all done with our exponents. Now remember, I said that multiplication and addition, they're a package deal. We have to do them left to right. So as I look, I see 4 different types of math in here. This is why PEMDAS comes into place, because I have to be able to complete these in the right order. Well, the multiplication and division comes before addition and subtraction. So I'm going to start left to right. So I'm going to multiply first. And like I said, we have to go line by line. So I'm going to multiply 7 times 6. And in my head, I'm going to think, okay, 7 times 6 is 7 groups of 6 is 42. And I'm going to write it right below. You have to do this line by line. I did not touch the plus sign, so it's coming down here. I did not touch the 3, it's coming down here. I did not touch the division sign. I did not touch this 3, and I did not touch this 4. I have to keep it all like that. The only thing that I touched was the 7 times 6. Okay? So now I'm still in the multiplication and division. I still have some division. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the division part here. The 42 divided by 3. How many groups of 3 can I get out of 42? Sometimes I have to go over to the side and I have to actually do math because I don't know everything up in my head, but I know how to use my skills, my strategies. And I think, oh, okay, well, 3 can go into 4 one time. Subtract. Ooh, I know that 3 times 4 is 12. So then I could do 42 divided by 3 is 14. Remember, I have not touched this 3. I have not touched this plus sign. I have not touched this minus sign. And I have not touched that 4. So now my next step, my next part of PEMDAS, I have to do my addition and subtraction left to right. So here I'm going to start with 3 plus 14. If I need to, I write it to the side. 3 plus 14. I now have 17. I'm done with that part. I did not touch my minus sign and I did not touch my 4. And I finished this problem out with my subtraction. 17 take away 4 equals 13. Now if I did the problem a different way, I'm going to get something different, but the only correct answer there is 13. Okay, we're going to start again, a new problem. We're always going to write PEMDAS beside whatever we're doing so I can check off as I go. What kind of things do I need to do next? So our problem this time is going to be 3 divided by parentheses 9 minus 6. Sometimes when we have those parentheses, we say the quantity of 9 minus 6. And then plus 4 times 2. So we check out our PEMDAS and we think, okay, what are we going to do first? That's right, our first thing is parentheses. So we're going to do our 9 minus 6. 9 take away 6 is 3. Bring it down below. I did not touch this 3. I did not touch this divided by sign. I did not touch this plus. I did not touch this 4. And I did not touch the multiplication or 2. So then the next thing, do we have any exponents? No way, Jose. But we have to do our multiplication and division left to right. So I do see a multiplication sign here, but this division sign comes first. So I'm going to do 3 divided by 3. 1. I did not touch a plus, I did not touch a 4, I did not touch the times, and I did not touch the 2. So I'm going to still be with my multiplication and division. And I have a plus or a multiplication. I'm going to do this part. 4 times 2. I did not touch this plus, and I did not touch this 1. I need to get a final answer. My last part, add and subtract. I only have adding left. 8 plus 1 is 9. This is my only correct answer. Okay, so today your secret word is spooky. Go ahead and write it in your class kick and get started with the problems that I have for you on there. And yeah, happy mathing.